Hi and welcome to another episode of Around the World in 80 Drinks. Thanks for tuning on. This week is a Halloween special. So the reason I'm sending it out slightly early, slightly before the weekend, just in case you want to get some ingredients in to make some funky Halloween drinks. I'd ordered some dry ice for today and it didn't turn up. So I might do another short video tomorrow demoing dry ice. But for the time being, I'm going to demo a drink and then we're going to bring in our guest from Kuala Lumpur. So look forward to that. So today I'm making a hybrid. It's my own creation. It's a hybrid between a Margarita and a Bloody Mary. Two fantastic drinks. I absolutely love a Bloody Mary in the morning. And what better than to add some tequila to that? Also, I thought, a bit of a hybrid, incorporating the Day of the Dead themes and make it a little bit Mexican. I do appreciate that Halloween and Day of the Dead are two completely separate entities, nothing to do with each other, but they do fall quite close to each other. So I thought it'd be quite fun to bring the theme of Bloody Mary and that bloody queen to us, and also bring it in with a bit of Day of the Dead Mexican-ness. So on that note, I've got a premix. In this premix is tequila and Cointreau. So 1.5 tequila to half Cointreau. So that is my Margarita premix. I've got it bottled up. So if I ever fancy a Margarita, grab it out of the cabinet, stick a large measure in a mixing tin, add my sour and my sweet, and away I go. So I'm going to stick a large measure of this in. First of all, I'll go through the rest of the ingredients. I've got salt and pepper, as you would do in any Bloody Mary. I've got some coarse sea salt, which I'll grind in. I've got some fine grounded white pepper. You use black pepper, either is absolutely fine, but please use grounded. Don't crack it in, because then you're just going to get those bits in your mouth. It's not a very nice mouthfeel, and it doesn't actually drive much of the pepperiness through the drink, having big clumps in there. You want fine ground white pepper or black pepper. I've got some Henderson's relish. Absolutely love this stuff. A little bit sweeter than Lea & Perrins, so if you're watching this anywhere on this planet and you're not in Yorkshire, you might struggle to find this stuff. So use some Lea & Perrins or some Worcester sauce or anything that's got a little bit of spice to it, a little bit of a kick, that strong umami and salt taste. But like I say, this Henderson's relish is a little bit sweeter. Got some Cholula. You should be able to find this in around the world. We've got it in the British supermarkets. It's essentially a Mexican spicy sauce. So it's a little bit like Tabasco. It's a little bit thicker. It's a little bit sweeter. And to me, there is a bit more flavour in it. It's not as hot, I wouldn't say, but it's a fantastic sauce to have with food, and it's going to be even better in this drink, and it is replacing the Tabasco. And I've got some tomato juice, obviously. Tomato juice goes in the Bloody Mary, so there we go. So garnishing wise, I've got some smoked paprika. Smoked paprika really works well with tomato. My glass, I'm going to stick it in a martini to give a bit more of a nod to the old Margarita. So first of all, you need some wetness on the side of your glass in order to stick the smoked paprika. So I'm just going to drizzle some of my Worcester sauce or Henderson's, whatever it is you got, around the edge. Just going to dash on my paprika. And there we go. I've just got a dash around the edge, not all the way around, because at the end of the day, if you don't want to get it in your mouth, you want a clean bit to drink from. You don't want it all the way around the glass. So the glass is garnished, ready to go. I'm just going to pop that there. Now let's get on with making the drink. So as with most drinks that I make and most drinks that you're going to order in a bar, it's going to end up with about 50ml or 2 shots in. So that's my pre-mix. Like I say, it's 1.5 tequila, half Cointreau, already pre-mixed. So I've waxed my double measure in there. I'm just going to add a little grind of salt. Use celery salt if you want, any sort of salt, anything that adds a bit of flavour. But salt helps open up the pores in your mouth, or your taste buds, should I say. So when you are drinking it, you get that bit more flavour. Dash of pepper. A dash of your Henderson's or Worcester sauce, whatever it is that you're using. Cholula hot sauce. Go and get some if you haven't got any. A nice large helping of that. Bit more than I'd put in of Tabasco because it's not quite as hot and it really does add loads of flavour. And 50ml of tomato juice. There we go. So, stick your ice in. Get it all the way to the top. You want your drink nice and cold. And all we're going to do is pour it from glass to tin and back again. We're just cooling down the drink. We're not shaking it. We don't need to shake it. We're just mixing the ingredients together and slowly cooling down the volume of it. So tomato juice, mixing it all up and cooling it all down. And that should do. Get my strainer on. I'm also not double straining this, because I haven't got it to hand, but I haven't shaken it, so there shouldn't be much smashed ice in there. And there we go, perfectly measured, slightly to the brim. You want a little bit of a window. And there we have it. The hybrid of a Bloody Mary and a Margarita. Cheers. Ah, and that smoked paprika smells absolutely amazing on the edge. Highly recommend you try that. Try and make it at home. Absolutely delicious. If you haven't got all the ingredients, do replace, the Cholula or the Henderson's relish. But if you can get Cholula, really do. It really does add something different. That sweetness really is something else. Okay, so next up, sorry, I'm self-producing here. That's why I'm looking down this way. Next up, we've got David in Kuala Lumpur. He speaks for himself, really. So I'm literally going to roll VT. And away we go. David, thank you so much for joining us on Around the World in 80 Drinks. How are you doing over in Kuala Lumpur?
Hi Dan, hi everyone. I'm good here. How about you over there?
Yeah, we're good. It's a nice early morning for us, so for once I don't have a drink in my hand, but hopefully you can demo a great drink for us soon. So tell us a bit about yourself. What are you doing over there at the moment, and where are you working?
All right. Hi everyone. Actually, my name is David from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and currently I am working in a cocktail bar in Kuala Lumpur called 3X Co. So basically, we are a cocktail bar that focusing on the Oriental inspired ingredient, and also with some of the local touching. So our cocktail itself will be on some Oriental ingredients like Chinese tea, Chinese herbs, and also some Malaysian local grow ingredients. So if you have time or after the COVID done, please feel free to visit us in Kuala Lumpur.
Oh, I'd love to. Absolutely love to. So you don't just work in this bar, and by the way, this bar is on the list of the world's 50 best bars. You also run an agency, don't you, where you train bartenders or something?
Yes, we are just very pleasure and proud that we been awarded as the 50 best discovery. And besides I work in the bar, I also do some workshop and also bartending event in Kuala Lumpur. So we provide trainings and also some mixology service with cocktails and some bar consultancy over here in Kuala Lumpur.
Amazing. And you've got a wealth of experience as well. You're 3 times Malaysian flair competition winner, aren't you?
Yeah, that was, yes, I used to involve a lot in the flair competition when I was young, like 5 years ago or 8 years ago. Yes, it was very
But
fun. Yeah.
I'm sure it was. But more recently, you've won Gifford's cocktail competition.
Yes. In 2017, I was traveling to France and then to join this Gifford West Cup, the global final in Angers. And yeah, I won the competition.
Amazing. So you've travelled all over the world bartending.
I wish to complete my list, but unfortunately this year I can't travel to everywhere. I
Yeah,
believe it's
no.
happened to everyone as well.
And is how's the bar doing at the moment? Where you're working? Are you getting customers in?
Oh, like today, at the moment, Kuala Lumpur has just been announced that we are going through the second lockdown for the city
Oh
because
wow.
our coronavirus case are increasing every day. And yes, this is our second time lockdown. So our bar, we still can operate, but we have to follow a very strict SOP and also the rules and law that fixed by the government. So basically now our business is very less people that willing to come out for social and also drink. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we are trying. It's a very challenging period for all the F&B business over here in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk more about that in a bit. But shall we hand over to you to make a drink?
Yeah. Sure. All right. So today I'm going to show you one of our signature 3S cocktail. It's inspired by a classic cocktail from old fashioned. So this cocktail is called Mr. Wong Choice. It's basically a Oriental inspired old fashioned with a twist. All right. So for the classic old fashioned, we are having a bourbon. So for this, our signature Mr. Wong Choice, we are using the bourbon which have already infused with the Chinese chrysanthemum. So this bourbon, it will have a very herbal floral, like the chrysanthemum flavor inside the bourbon. So we will use the bourbon, the Chinese chrysanthemum infused bourbon, as our base spirit for this cocktail. All right.
Wow.
So yeah, I will pour in 45 mils for this cocktail. Yet beside that, instead of the sugar syrup, so we are trying to look something more oriental sweet to replace with the sugar syrup. And we have found this is basically a Chinese cough syrup over here. You can get this everywhere in Malaysia or Asia. And I have seen this is previously was quite a popular item in US. Yeah,
Wow.
it's called Chinese cough syrup. We call it like peipago in Chinese. It basically made with a lot of Chinese herbs and honey. So it
Okay.
also can be considered as a Chinese herbal honey syrup. So we are adding this into our cocktails to replace the sugar syrup as and also as a sweetener for the cocktails. So for this, because it's a very sweet, so we will only add in around 1 bar spoon, about 2.5 ml into our cocktails. So I believe the old-fashioned drink is a very well-known classic, and it's a very popular drink among all the bar around the world. And also, it's a very fun cocktail that can play with different ingredients to bring out a different identity or some culture from each city or country. So over here, yes, we can get a lot of old-fashioned style in Malaysia because we also have a lot of culture happening here. We can use like today I'm showing you this one, the Chinese herbal theme old fashioned. So I add in the Chinese herbal syrup and then I will slightly stir it to make sure the syrup dilute with the bourbon, and it's done. All right. So beside the sweetener, we also need to add in some bitter. So for the bitter part, I'm using the Fernet Branca. Yeah, the Fernet Branca to complement with the Chinese honey herbal, and we will also use the longan. So this is our premix for the Fernet Branca and also the longan liqueur, homemade longan liqueur. So we will add in around 10 ml. Into our drinks. So for the longan liqueur, basically we are using the sous vide method. We use a dry longan, and then we will put in with the neutral spirit with some sugar, and then we sous vide it at 70 degrees for 30 minutes. And then it will become a very sweet and then a very aromatic longan liqueur. And then we will put in 5 ml of the longan liqueur and also together with a 5 ml of the Fernet Branca.
Wow.
All right. So it's a very complex flavor for this drink, yet really delicious.
Amazing.
All right, give it a taste. Wow, delicious. All right, and then we can add in the ice. All right, and then give it a stir to bring down the temperature and also to give the drinks a little bit of the dilution. Then is it the people in UK, they enjoy the old fashioned as well?
Absolutely, yeah. Old fashioned's popular over here.
Ah, great. Yeah, over here in Malaysia, we have a big crowd of the classic cocktail fans, like old fashioned, Negroni. Yeah, it's always the best seller in the behind the bar.
Oh wow, it's not quite like that over here. I do think over in East Asia, there's definitely more people drinking shorter, stronger drinks. Having chatted to some bartenders over there, it's usually
Yeah,
a bit longer drinks over in the UK.
yeah, it's true. So people here, we are more. Some people they are more to a strong flavor over here, but some Asian customer they are also prefer some refreshing cocktails behind the bar. All right, so the cocktail is almost done. So we will transfer it into a cocktail glass. All right, so we have a very nice chill cocktail glass over here. And then we're going to strain it into the glass. Okay, lastly, for the garnish, we can use this. It looks like the wood from the video is actually the Chinese licorice. It's a Chinese herb. So we can put inside the drinks. So as well, we put it into the cocktails. It will, the flavor will come out after while you enjoy the drinks. And also, this licorice also can use as a stirrer, yeah, for the cocktails. And guys, so this Mr. Wong Choice cocktail and Oriental style inspired old fashioned is done.
Absolutely amazing. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
I don't have a drink. It's only 9:30 in the morning, but having watched you made that, I'd absolutely love to try it. It's probably one of the best versions I've ever seen of an old fashioned. So yeah, I'll definitely add that to my list.
Thanks. So, have you traveled been to KL before?
Say again, sorry.
Have you traveled to Kuala Lumpur before?
No, I haven't. The closest I've been to Malaysia is Singapore, but yeah, never throughout to Malaysia.
All right, next time you should visit Malaysia.
I
We
will,
have,
absolutely.
yeah,
When we're allowed to fly again, I would love to come and visit.
sure.
So, at the moment, do you have foreign travelers coming into the country, or is it all locked down properly?
Yeah, we all locked down properly. Yep.
Okay, so that's going to affect trade quite heavily then, I guess.
Yes, we have no tourists in or out at the moment since March, and
Wow.
yeah, the city is quite quiet at the meantime. Yep.
Yeah. And
How about
so, do
over there
you?
in UK? How about
Um,
situation over there?
People are allowed to travel from certain countries that are on a list that haven't been quarantined. Um, but quite often, when they do fly over, they have to quarantine for 1 or 2 weeks anyway. So, there's not a lot of foreign travel going on really.
Mm.
It's all looking like it's going to be locked down again, a bit like you guys.
Oh, so sad to hear that. But I think
But
this is yeah,
I was going to say,
this is
did
what all
your
the country.
yeah, did your venue serve food or is it just drinks?
We serve drink and also food over here.
Okay, and is that part
Yeah.
of what the government say that you have to do in order to be able to trade during COVID? You have to be able to serve food and drinks.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I, th- I mean, I don't know what the thinking is behind it, but it seems to be a lot of the countries all over the world
Yep.
are taking on that stance. So I think the UK this morning released that you have to serve food alongside drinks if you want to stay open. I know the Americans do it. Most of Asia's doing it. So yeah, it's one of those things that the world seems to be adopting, really.
Yeah. It's true that I think the government all around the world they encourage all the establishment serve food and drinks together is because maybe they don't want the people or encourage them to come out for social
Yeah.
just for drinks. Yeah, maybe that is the meaning behind it. Maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What I really liked about actually your cocktail, I forgot to mention, is the use of Fernet Branca. We had Santiago. He was from Argentina. They're the biggest consumers of Fernet Branca in the world, and he was the last person
Ah,
to use that. So
wonderful.
it's nice to see it coming out off the shelf again.
Yeah, because Fernet Branca will give a balancing flavor and also a hint of bitterness into the drinks. So actually,
Yeah,
I find it works very well, especially for this old fashioned. Beside can cut down the sweetness and also can complement with the Chinese herbal flavor as well. So it's a
yeah,
very nice and delicious cocktail. Yeah, for this drink.
absolutely. One day we'll fly over and we'll try it and we'll meet in person.
Sure, I will bring you to a lot of bars, alcohol places, and also good food. We have the best food.
Amazing,
Yeah, in
amazing.
maybe in the world.
Look, David, thank you so much for coming on Around the World in 80 Drinks. It's been an absolute pleasure to talking. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. It's David Hands, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Dan, for having me.
What an absolute legend we had right there. What a really nice guy. Would love to meet him. And also, just a quick note. To prove this is live, I've finished my drink and the dry ice has turned up. So I'm gonna make another one. Why not? Hey, I did sort of want to do this anyway. It's another twist on a classic. It's a twist on a White Russian. This is a sample bottle that Whitaker's Gin gave me. It's a sample bottle of their vodka that they hadn't released, and they sent it to me and said, "What do you think?" We loved it. Bought a case. So it's a wheat vodka. Essentially, just use any vodka. I mean, classically, you should be using a Russian vodka, obviously. But like I say, I'm making a twist. And I'm not using a coffee liqueur, not like any other coffee liqueur. I'm using Patron XO tequila. Okay, so that's for those of you that don't know, it's a coffee flavoured tequila. So again, I want to link it back to Day of the Dead in Mexico. So I'm using a tequila. So I'm going to whack in 25 mils of my base spirit. So I've got 25 mils of my vodka in. And I want 25 mils of my coffee liqueur, which is my Patron XO. That's that. And then I'm going to top it with milk. If you've got full fat, awesome. The more fat in here, the better. So if you can mix it with a bit of cream, then even better. And to add a bit of effect, I'm going to use some dry ice. So a lot of people, a lot of bartenders are scared of using dry ice. This has been some horror stories in the past. But the idea is if you contain the dry ice into a container that can stay in the drink, then it's safe to drink. What you don't want to do is just chuck a spoonful or an ice scoop full of dry ice, the cubes that you get in the drink. I'll show you the cubes if I can. They're just little pellets, like cattle feeds. Yeah, just sort of little pellets. So you don't want to chuck that straight in the drink, because if you accidentally swallow that, that's going to burn all your insides. So you want to keep it really self-contained. Or if you haven't got these containers and you are serving it in a bar, make sure you do not serve that drink over the bar until all the dry ice and all the bubbles have gone and completely dissolved. So all dry ice is completely safe as long as used correctly. And look, I am using my hands. It's not burning me straight away. If you can use a glove, then do so. But these little funnels help you get the dry ice into the containers. It can be a little bit fiddly, so if you are on a busy bar service, then you do want to sort of prep it up. That would be a good idea. Just get as much into the container as you can. And while I'm doing that, I'll show you. You also can buy these swizzle sticks. So my supplier is chillsticks.com or chillstick.com. And basically, with the same method, you can funnel in some dry ice into these swizzle sticks and stir it around, and it will give off the desired effect. I'm really struggling with that at the moment. Try again. That's better. So these funnels just basically help the dry ice pellets get into the container that you're using. And it is super cold, so you don't need much to chill a drink down. And in fact, if you use too much, then it's just going to taste carbonated. If you use, I know bars like to show off and have that effect, the dry ice effect, but if you stick it in a drink needlessly, the drink will taste carbonated. So if you stick it in a Negroni, for example, it is not going to taste as good as if you just made it normally, in my opinion, unless you want that carbonation in there. I'm just going to drop this in here. And there you have it, dry ice effect. And I've used it with milk, so added mess for Halloween. There we go. That is my twist on a White Russian. I'm gonna leave that to boil away and make a mess and clean it up afterwards. So, like I say, I use chillsticks.com for my dry ice. I'm in the UK, so they'll ship all over the UK. This literally came by a same-day courier while I was filming. So fair play to them for getting it here after their other courier failed. So shout out to them. If you want to play with dry ice, use that. If you're watching it from international, I'm not sure if they ship internationally, but basically a good reputable dry ice supplier that supplies bars and restaurants should be able to supply the apparatus you need in order to make drinks safely. And that is pretty much it. So, just to show you again, this is just a glass of water. I'm not going to use a container. I'm just going to chuck it straight in to show you what I mean. There you go, there's a real dry ice effect without using milk. So it spills out, the cold CO2 just literally falls over the table, and eventually it will bubble out, and when it does, that is then safe to serve. You really don't want to be serving that over the bar to a customer as it is, because if they see that drink off and all that dry ice goes into their stomach, there's going to be a lawsuit on your hands. So just wait till it all dissolves, all the smoke is gone, and then you'll be safe to serve it. And that is it. Simple as that. So don't forget, we are shipping stickers of Around the World in 80 Drinks around the globe. So if you want a sticker for your home bar, your bumper, your windscreen, whatever it is, give us a shout. We'll send you it for free. Just drop us an email, info@bareventsuk.com. If you want us to go anywhere on this planet and chat to bartenders there, tell us. In fact, even if it's not on this planet. I really want to get onto BA or Virgin, by the way, and get a bartender on there. So anywhere, just let us know where you want us to go. If there's drinks you want us to make, tell us. If there's liqueurs or spirits you want us to use, tell us. Put it in the comments. And most of all, just hit the like button. Add a comment. Just say cheers, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just add some comments. Help us gain some traction and get this show really, really, really worldwide. Not just chatting to international bartenders, but seen across the globe. Help us out. That would be awesome. Thanks a lot. I've been Dan Lakin. This is Around the World in 80 Drinks. Thanks for watching.